Welcome back to the channel. We brought you very crucial info. We respectfully ask you to stay with us until the end of the video. I will announce the topic first. Robust job market surges onward, but wage growth faces headwinds. Inflation shows signs of easing, yet remains above Federal Reserve target. U.S. House passes landmark spending bill to transform infrastructure and combat climate change. Let's move on to the detailed news. Robust job market surges onward, but wage growth faces headwinds. In a commendable display of resilience, the U.S. job market maintains its upward trajectory, defying expectations once again. The most recent report from the esteemed U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, BLS, reveals that a staggering 263,000 jobs were added in October, solidifying a trend of remarkable job growth witnessed throughout the year 2023. However, amidst this positive backdrop, a disconcerting revelation emerges: the pace of wage growth has decelerated. During the transition from September to October, average hourly earnings experienced a meager increase of just 0.1%, culminating in a modest 4.7% growth over the past year. This figure represents a notable decline from the 0.5% upswing observed in September and the 5.2% surge recorded in the year leading up to September. Several factors contribute to this slowdown, including the Federal Reserve's deliberate implementation of interest rate hikes aimed at tempering economic growth and curbing inflationary pressures. Despite the concerning deceleration in wage growth, the job market continues to exude strength and vitality. October witnessed a decline in the unemployment rate to an impressive 3.7%, down from 3.8% in September, marking its lowest level since 1969. Even more notably, the number of available job openings stands at a robust 10.3 million as of the end of September, signifying that there are twice as many job opportunities as there are unemployed individuals. The robust state of the job market bodes well for the overall economy, fostering increased workforce participation and augmented disposable incomes. This surge in purchasing power holds the potential to invigorate consumer spending, which serves as a pivotal catalyst for driving sustained economic growth. Nonetheless, the deceleration in wage growth raises legitimate concerns for workers across the nation. With wages struggling to keep pace with the mounting cost of living, households may face budgetary constraints and find it arduous to save for retirement or other financial goals. To combat inflationary pressures, it is highly likely that the Federal Reserve will persist in raising interest rates, potentially further impeding wage growth in the upcoming months. However, the Federal Reserve aims to strike a delicate balance, avoiding any abrupt moves that could precipitate a recession. While the job market is projected to maintain its robust state in the near term, it is imperative to closely monitor the trajectory of wage growth. A continued deceleration may portend a broader economic slowdown, necessitating proactive measures to sustain the nation's economic prosperity. Let's move on to the other info. Inflation shows signs of easing, yet remains above Federal Reserve target. In a noteworthy development, the United States witnesses a moderation in inflation, albeit it continues to hover above the Federal Reserve's desired threshold. The latest figures reveal that the Consumer Price Index, CPI, a pivotal gauge of inflation, climbed by 7.7% in October, a slight decline from the 8.2% recorded in September. While this suggests a gradual deceleration in inflationary pressures, it highlights the persistent challenge faced by the Federal Reserve. The easing of inflation can be attributed to various factors, including the Federal Reserve's strategic implementation of interest rate hikes, aimed at curbing economic growth and taming inflationary tendencies. Additionally, a reduction in disruptions within supply chains and a decline in global energy prices have contributed to the overall decline in inflationary pressures. Despite the observed moderation, inflation continues to surpass the Federal Reserve's target level. Consequently, it is highly likely that the Federal Reserve will maintain its course of raising interest rates to counteract inflationary forces. However, the Federal Reserve also treads cautiously, aiming to strike a balance between combating inflation and preventing an economic downturn, thereby avoiding any hasty rate increases. Examining the CPI data for October, we find the following key insights. Energy prices rose by 17.6% over the past year, although the pace of increase has decelerated recently. Food prices experienced a 10.9% rise over the past year, yet similar to energy prices, the pace of increase has also slowed in recent months. Core prices, which exclude food and energy, exhibited a significant rise of 6.3% over the past year, marking the highest core inflation rate since 1982. The Federal Reserve maintains an inflation target of 2%, as it believes this rate fosters optimal long-term economic growth. Elevated inflation erodes consumer purchasing power and hampers business investments, while excessively low inflation can lead to deflation, equally detrimental to economic stability. The Federal Reserve's decision to raise interest rates has triggered a series of repercussions within the economy. These rate hikes have made borrowing more expensive for businesses and consumers, thus impeding overall economic growth. Simultaneously, the increased attractiveness of saving money has played a vital role in curbing inflationary pressures. The Federal Reserve finds itself navigating a delicate balance between mitigating inflation and averting a potential recession. Aggressive rate hikes risk tipping the economy into a downturn, while insufficient rate adjustments may enable inflation to persist at high levels, posing long-term economic risks. While signs of inflation moderation offer some respite, the Federal Reserve remains resolute in its mission to combat persistent inflationary pressures. The upcoming months are likely to witness further interest rate hikes, as the Federal Reserve strives to strike a delicate equilibrium that fosters sustainable economic growth while curbing inflationary forces. Let's move on to the other info. U.S. House passes landmark $1.7 trillion bill to transform infrastructure and combat climate change. In a historic move, the United States House of Representatives successfully passed a monumental $1.7 trillion spending bill on November 15, 2023. This comprehensive legislation, named the Build Back Better Act, aims to tackle critical issues such as infrastructure development, climate change, and social programs. With a vote of 220 to 213, the bill marks a significant milestone for President Joe Biden and the Democratic Party, representing their most substantial legislative accomplishment since assuming control of the House in 2019. The Build Back Better Act encompasses a wide range of priorities, channeling substantial investments into the following areas. Infrastructure. The bill allocates $550 billion towards infrastructure projects, encompassing the enhancement of roads, bridges, public transit systems, and broadband internet connectivity. These initiatives are set to generate millions of job opportunities and contribute to the overall improvement of the nation's infrastructure. Climate change. Recognizing the urgency of combating climate change, the bill dedicates $550 billion to clean energy initiatives. This includes the provision of tax credits for renewable energy and electric vehicles, funding for climate research and development, and investments in climate-resilient infrastructure. These measures aim to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and facilitate the transition to a clean energy economy. Social programs. The Build Back Better Act extends access to affordable health care, broadens the expanded child tax credit, and provides funding for various social programs. Notably, it allows individuals to purchase Medicare coverage at a younger age and offers subsidies to alleviate the burden of health insurance premiums. Additionally, the bill includes support for universal pre-K, ensuring access to early education for all 3- and 4-year-olds. While the House's passage of the Build Back Better Act is a significant accomplishment, the bill now faces opposition in the Senate. Republicans criticize the bill's scale and scope, arguing that it is excessively expensive and wasteful. The outcome of the Senate deliberations remains uncertain, as it is yet to be determined whether the bill will overcome these obstacles in its current form. Should the Build Back Better Act successfully become law, it would mark a momentous achievement for the Biden administration and carry profound implications for the U.S. economy. The bill's provisions have the potential to create millions of jobs, address the pressing climate crisis, and provide much-needed relief to working families across the nation. Outlined below are some of the crucial provisions included in the Build Back Better Act. Infrastructure. The bill earmarks $550 billion for infrastructure projects, encompassing roads, bridges, public transit, and broadband internet. This allocation will not only generate employment opportunities but also contribute to the overall enhancement of the nation's infrastructure. Clean energy. An investment of $550 billion in clean energy and climate change initiatives will aid in reducing greenhouse gas emissions and transitioning the United States to a clean energy economy. Affordable health care. The bill expands access to affordable healthcare by enabling individuals to purchase Medicare coverage at a younger age and providing subsidies for health insurance premiums. Child Tax Credit. The expanded Child Tax Credit, which provides monthly payments to families with children, will be extended under the Build Back Better Act. Universal Pre-K. Funding will be allocated to establish universal pre-K, ensuring access to early education for all 3- and 4-year-olds. The Build Back Better Act represents a bold and ambitious plan to address some of the most pressing challenges confronting the United States. If enacted into law, it has the potential to significantly improve the lives of millions of Americans, fostering economic prosperity while addressing crucial societal and environmental concerns. These were the stories we had available at the moment. More information will be provided in a few hours. Remember to subscribe in the meantime.